You think you're a good Muslim? Because you pray 5 times a day? Because you wear Islamic clothes? Because your beard is long or your hijab is perfect? But let me ask you something deeper. Do you ever feel superior to someone who sins differently than you? Do you glance at someone missing Fajr and think, I'm better than him? Do you see a sister without hijab and feel pride, not sadness, not DUA but pride that you're more righteous than her? That feeling, that's not piety, that's hidden hypocrisy, that's arrogance disguised as religiosity, and it's more dangerous than the sins you judge others for, because here's the truth no one likes to admit. Shaitan didn't deny Allah, he didn't reject prayer, he didn't drink or commit zina, he worshipped for thousands of years, and yet, he was cast out. Why? Because of arrogance, because he thought he was better. He said, I am better than him. Surah Al-Araf 7:12 sound familiar? We read Quran, attend halakas, give dawah online, but if our hearts are polluted with ego, we may be walking a path not toward Jannah, but toward Jahannam. Because it's not what you do, it's what's inside while you're doing it. You see, Iblis wasn't wrong in his worship, he was wrong in his attitude, and sometimes so are we. You may raise your hands in DUA, but your heart whispers, I'm more beloved to Allah than others. You may help someone financially, but deep down you think they needed me, I saved them. You may cry in tahajjud, but then judge someone who doesn't pray at all, thinking they're lost. I'm guided, be very careful, because even our worship can turn into poison if it's tainted with pride. The Prophet Muhammad said, he who has in his heart an atom's weight of pride will not enter paradise. Muslim, you don't need to say it out loud. Allah hears the thoughts no one else can. The quiet self-praise, the silent judgment, the unspoken arrogance, that's what he weighs. You think you're a good Muslim? Alhamdulillah. But if that thought leads to looking down on others, you may be standing in the exact shoes of Iblis. What's worse is that arrogance in religion doesn't just destroy your own soul, it pushes others away from Islam. Your harsh tone, your mocking comments, your smug posts about sinful Muslims, they don't guide anyone. They hurt, they humiliate, and sometimes you become the reason someone leaves the masjid, not comes closer to it. Would you want to face Allah knowing that you turned someone away from His mercy just to prove you were better? Ask yourself. When you see someone sin, do you make DUA for them or talk about them? When someone admits they're struggling, do you listen or label them a hypocrite? When someone sins publicly, do you privately cry for them or publicly expose them? Your reaction reveals your heart, and here's the irony, the person you're judging. They might be crying at night, begging Allah to forgive them. They might be doing more sincere tawbah than all your worship combined, and you're too busy counting their sins to realize your own record is filling with pride, backbiting, and a dangerous sense of spiritual superiority. You think you're a good Muslim? Then prove it not by pointing at others, but by fighting the enemy within, the ego, the arrogance, the false sense of being safe from Allah's punishment, because even the most religious-looking Muslim can fall, and even the most sinful one can rise. The Prophet said, indeed, a man may speak a word which pleases Allah without realizing it, and Allah raises him in degrees because of it. And a man may speak a word which angers Allah without realizing it, and he will be thrown into the hellfire because of it. Bukhari, so be careful of your words, be careful of your thoughts, be careful of the quiet pride that tells you, I'm already on the right path, because sometimes that thought is the very thing that leads you off it. Instead, be the Muslim who cries for others, who hides their good deeds, who judges no one but fears for their own soul, because the closer you get to Allah, the less you'll judge His creation.